Hello dazzling ones and welcome to my channel. Are you ready to allow miracles to flow into your life? Today we will talk about life in the olden days and nowadays. If a body of the past was somehow transported to the contemporary world, they would experience a cultural shock. Well, it's hard to live. It's hard to live in the city. Let's discover the magical in the mundane, or what extraordinary times we live in. There is still nature in the city. Parks and gardens are essential for one's healthy connection with nature. Everywhere around the blocks, we are surrounded by green spaces where trees live and help us breathe, and herbs that we hardly ever notice flourish, like the modest dandelion. Associated with the goddess Aphrodite because of her connection to bees, it boosts clairvoyance, aids divination, purifies, and increases psychic abilities. Lovely people walk their pet dogs on the boulevards. Many kinds of birds live joyfully around us, such as pigeons, the bringers of peace, love, and gentleness. So each natural resource in the city is a source of energy and a masterpiece of the divine. But today we are not going to the park. We will visit the main street and discover what's magical in it. Food and restaurants. Once upon a time, food was prepared in the kitchen by the lady of the house. She used secret ingredients to create potions, brews, and dishes with supernatural properties. Nowadays, we have fast food restaurants for healthy traditional meals. Instead of engaging with cooking, food's just round the corner. New meals are prepared every day. Except for takeaway meals, you can always sit and be served in a proper restaurant. In medieval inns, travelers could eat, drink, and rest, but the menu was restricted. One could order bread, porridge, meat and fish, which were luxury dishes, cheese and dairy, ale and wine, and fruit or nuts. Among the desserts served on special occasions were honey cakes, fruit tarts, and marzipan. Shops. The predecessors of the shops are the farmer markets. They can be traced to ancient civilizations and played a crucial role in the daily life of medieval towns and villages. At Christmas, Europe celebrates the most wonderful time of the year with lovely seasonal markets. Hansel and Gretel from the German folk tale lived in a house made of candies, and here in the center of Plovdiv we have a candy shop named Hansel and Gretel, which is almost made of candies. Transportation. Once upon a time in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and China, people used to walk a lot. To transport themselves, they used animal-drawn carts, boats, and sledges. During the Middle Ages, they invented horse-drawn carriages, ships, and compasses. The Industrial Revolution saw the invention of steam engines, railways, canals, bridges, and logistics. The 20th century witnessed the rise of automobiles, airplanes, trucks, and buses. We have built highways and airports and public transportation networks. Nowadays we have electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, and renewable energy sources. Retro, but still very much in use and fashion, are the beloved bicycles. Once in our country there were only 2 cars in the capital, and they clashed in the center of the city because there were no driving regulations. Entertainment. Yes, ancient people knew about music, dance, theater, storytelling, and sport. In medieval Europe, tournaments, masquerade balls, performances, concerts, and telling stories by the fire were popular forms of entertainment. It was later revolutionized by the invention of the printing press, photography, and cinema. The industry has produced iconic films, music, celebrities, and trends. Then internet and the video games emerged, offering new opportunities for creativity and interaction. Plovdiv is the cultural capital of Bulgaria. Here, lots of performances take place in all seasons. It's a place where culture flourishes and people flock to cultural events. Communication. 60,000 years ago, people started to speak. 5,000 years ago, people started to write. 600 years ago, people started to publish. 52 years ago, the internet was born. Now at least 10 million websites are added to the net every day. Soon, all the information you ever encountered in your life will be linked together in this system across countries, across continents. All languages, every library, every song, every movie, every television show, sports game, new broadcast and book will be found somewhere on the World Wide Web. 1 of every 8 married couples in the USA last year met online. Internet has totally changed human life. Architecture. Architecture has always been a part of human environment and way of life. We have built monumental structures like the pyramids, the Parthenon, the Colosseum, the Great Wall of China. We have built Gothic cathedrals, Romanesque churches, Renaissance palaces. Louis the Sun King built Versailles. We have built tall buildings, bridges, and transformed the skyline, but we can still marvel at the artistry of a simple door. Fashion. I don't understand how a woman can leave the house without fixing herself up a little. If only out of politeness, said Coco Chanel. And then you never know, maybe that's the day she has a date with Destiny, and it's best to be as pretty as possible for Destiny. In ancient civilizations, clothing and accessories were crafted using natural materials and traditional techniques. The 18th and 19th centuries witnessed the rise of fashion as an industry with the development of the fashion houses, designers, tailors, and department stores. Coco Chanel grew tired of holding her purse and was the first designer to ever attach a chain to a purse. Nowadays, fashion is accessible for everybody. Dress poorly and they remember the dress, said Chanel. Dress impeccably and they remember the woman. Fashion, especially in shoes, has got the power of self-expression, creativity, and individuality. In ancient Egypt, elevated footwear was worn by both men and women to signify social status, wealth, and power. During the Middle Ages, elevated shoes were worn by royalty and aristocrats. Nowadays, they are synonymous with femininity, glamour, sophistication, and empowerment. Bookshops. The first written records were of financial and accounting matters. After that, during the Middle Ages, religious handwritten texts became popular. In the 15th century, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press. It allowed mass production of books. In the modern era, we have bookshops and libraries where everyone can find something for their taste. The period between 1900 and 1930 is often referred to as the golden age of postcards, when collecting and exchanging postcards became a popular hobby among travelers and tourists. Nowadays, cards connect, inspire, and unite us. They serve as cherished memories. Another way to celebrate your travels is by buying magnets for your fridge. Scents. Ancient people used various scents for ritual and religious ceremonies, as well as medicinal purposes. The ancient Egyptians were masters of perfumery. They extracted essential oils from plants and flowers. In the antiquity, people used mostly myrrh, frankincense, sandalwood, jasmine, and rose. Frankincense was used for so many spiritual ceremonies, it became known as the odor of sanctity. It brings peace, releases stress, and connects one to the divine. Myrrh is a purifying herb and it helps to balance the root chakra. Jasmine is a sensuous and mystical flower. It attracts wealth and improves sexual experience. Ancient Greeks introduced the concept of perfume, which comes from the Latin perfumum, meaning through smoke. In the Middle Ages, Islamic perfumers created exquisite perfumes and aromatic oils. During the Renaissance, perfumes became popular among the noble and aristocratic people. Today, we are in the golden age of perfumery, with iconic fragrances such as Chanel No. 5. Nowadays, perfumes are a form of self-expression and personal branding. Money. The earliest form of trade was based on the barter system. The first money consisted of valuable goods like salt, spices, livestock, and precious metals that had value for everyone. Around 600 BC, metal coins were invented. Paper money originated in China and replaced coins as the first medium of exchange. In medieval Europe, banks came into being. Now we have electronic banking, credit cards, ATMs, online banking, digital currencies. There is a revolution in the way people access, manage, and use money today. Gambling. In ancient civilizations, various kinds of games of chance were popular forms of entertainment, like dice games, betting on chariot races. In medieval Europe, there were games of dice, cards, and lotteries. During the Renaissance emerged the concept of casino, meaning little house in Italian. The modern era of casinos began with the development of Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, with hotels, resorts, and casinos with all the glamour and allure. Now, of course, we have online casinos that allow players to indulge in gambling anytime, anywhere. Timekeeping devices. The earliest methods of keeping time were the sundials and water clocks, which used to measure time based on the movement of the sun and the flow of water. During the 14th century in Europe, mechanical clocks came into being. In the 16th century, the nobles could wear as personal accessories portable watches, small, spherical, and ornate. Later, pocket watches made of gold or silver became fashionable. In the 18th and 19th century, Switzerland became the global hub of watchmaking. Its production became synonymous to luxury, precision, and timeless elegance. Now, in the 21st century, we see the rise of smartwatches that are actually multifunctional devices offering features such as fitness tracking, notifications, GPS navigation, and mobile connectivity. Through the entire history, a watch has been a precious gift. Coffee shops. Thomas Carway was the owner of the first coffee house to serve tea in 1657. Only 2 years later, in 1659, coffee, chocolate, and tea were already sold in almost each street. What makes coffee houses special is their function. They were a place where people used to gather with people from different backgrounds, different environments, sharing ideas with each other. They were places where ideas could make love and procreate. An amazing number of innovations from those times have got a coffee house in their history. Nowadays, in coffee shops, we are served more than 10 types of espresso and 5 types of latte. Good food is sweeter when shared with friends. Flower shops. The tradition of giving and receiving flowers dates back to ancient civilizations, where they were used in religious ceremonies, festivals, and as symbols of love, beauty, and remembrance. Bouquets were crafted by skilled artisans and used to decorate homes, temples, and public spaces. Flowers were valued for their beauty, fragrance, and symbolic meanings, and were often used to convey messages, express sentiments, and celebrate special occasions like weddings, births, and holidays. Floristry became a profession and a business in the 19th century. Now we have flower delivery services which allow florists to ship fresh flowers and plants from around the world. All flowers have symbolic values. For instance, the white rose represents purity, innocence, and new beginnings. In our culture, it is symbolic of a wedding proposition. Lighting. The ancient methods of illumination used fire, candles, torches, and oil lamps. During the Renaissance, oil lamps and chandeliers emerged. Candle making flourished. Then, Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, and it became the preferred source of illumination for the households. The development of LED bulbs is transforming the lighting industry. Nowadays, the torch symbolizes enlightenment, knowledge, innovation, and inspiration. It continues to inspire artists, designers, architects, and creators. Different kinds of monsters. Once upon a time, dragons roamed the earth. They have been explored in various ancient myths and folklore worldwide, and they were similar to dinosaurs. They symbolize strength, wisdom, courage, protection, and order. Contemporary monsters are vampires, zombies, aliens, ghosts, and spirits. Flags. Flags are symbolic of the country. The white stripe represents peace, purity, and freedom. The green stripe symbolizes the fertility of Bulgarian lands, the richness of natural resources. The red stripe stands for the courage, bravery, and spirit of Bulgarian people. Friendship. This is my friend Mariana. How ancient is friendship? In ancient civilizations, it was honored as a sacred, meaningful, and vital bond between people. It is often described as a source of happiness, harmony, unity, strength, and wisdom. Friendship is an essential aspect of human life, happiness, and well-being. It is a timeless theme in literature, music, and art. Nowadays, we have the social media to connect us to our best beloved.